A cost index must be input every time you initialize the FMC. The FMC will use this cost index to compute the most economical climb, cruise, and descent speeds for the scheduled flight when operating in economy mode. The factors affecting the total cost of each flight must first be determined for an airline to calculate the cost index. The factors which affect the cost of a flight can be segmented into time-related costs and fuel costs. Time-related costs are any costs which will be reduced by reducing the flight time. This reduction in flight time is accomplished by flying faster climb, cruise, and descent speeds. Simply put, the faster you fly, the lower the time-related costs. For most airlines, portions of the maintenance costs are time-related. For some airlines, flight crew and cabin crew costs are also time-related. The chosen flight speeds will also affect the fuel costs. For each flight, there is a specified speed which will minimize the trip fuel and therefore minimize the fuel costs. This speed is determined by aerodynamics and affected by the engine characteristics of the airplane. The goal for an airline is to minimize the total cost of the flight. The total cost would be determined by adding the cost of fuel plus the cost of time. The speed which results in the lowest total cost is the most economical speed for the flight. This speed is called econ speed. Cost index is simply the parameter entered into the FMC so it can calculate the econ speed for climb, cruise, and descent. If your airline has low time-related costs or high fuel costs, a low cost index is used. This will result in a slower econ speed. If the time-related costs are high or fuel costs very low, a high cost index would be used. This will result in a faster econ speed. Only your airline can gather the information necessary to determine the best cost index for your operation. Typically, cost index is supplied as part of the dispatch papers or is set by company policy.